Hey everybody, welcome back. If you're new, my name is Chris. Today's video is about floral fragrances. I spent basically the entire summer, or most of the summer, talking about fruity perfumes and some gourmands. And now I'm gonna hit some flowers. Instead of breaking it up into categories like I anticipated I would be doing, I decided I was just going to talk about the fragrances that were floral prominent that I wore the most. At the beginning of the summer, I had in my mind what I thought I would be wearing, but these are the perfumes that I actually wore the most. I'm gonna say spring and summer, and I think I grabbed 7. Some of these you've heard me talk about before, and I don't think I've talked about a few of these on camera. So with that, I'm just gonna dive right in. One of the fragrances that I know I have not spoken of, that I have worn a ton, particularly if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen me post this 1,000 times. And it is a perfume that I remember when it was released, and because of the bottle and the price tag, I wasn't really jumping on trying it. And then I have a lovely friend that I met over at Instagram, shout out to Katrina. She so generously sent me a bunch of decants, and when I tested it, I fell head over heels in love, and I've been wearing it ever since. I drained through my very large, very generous decant, and I found it at a good deal, and so I went ahead and took the plunge and bought it, and it is Windflowers by Creed. I would describe this as a snazzy patchouli, so a fruity patchouli with some florals. Now, I've had a lot of people ask me if this is similar to Coco Mademoiselle, and I can see why people think that. I personally think there are a lot of differences, and I don't own Coco Mademoiselle, even though I think it smells lovely on other people. Coco Mademoiselle and Windflowers do share patchouli. Coco Mademoiselle has a lot of orange. There's a lot of orange, and this one goes a different direction and has peach instead. So that's kind of the main fruit in here. The flowers, nothing screams individually, but I know there's rose and jasmine, and I can see those blended in here. So it's a rose, jasmine, patchouli, peach fragrance. If you have Coco Mademoiselle and you love Coco Mademoiselle, you know, I think you should probably save your money, or at least try a decant first. And even though I love this, it has great performance. It lasts all day. It's universally appealing. Surprisingly, one of the fragrances that I wore a ton in the spring, and my really picky mother loved it. I only bought it because I found it at a very good discount. I think I got it around half price on a sale. So it doesn't look like I've been wearing it a lot, but mind you, this was full, and I went through a very large decant that my friend sent me. So those two combined, and only getting it in, I can't remember if I got it at the end of March or the beginning of April. I definitely wore Windflowers quite a lot. Now, one that I don't know if I've spoken about on camera, or at least on YouTube, I might have, I know for sure I've shown this over on Instagram, but I am really into Ormond Jane florals right now. They're very light, they're gauzy, they're airy, they just have an air of sophistication and elegance to me. One of the Ormond Jane fragrances that I've been wearing a ton is called Champaca. This is new to me from the spring, and this is a 4-ounce bottle, so it doesn't look like I've put a big dent into it, but it's a huge perfume, and I would call this an airy, breezy, floral tea fragrance with some fruity touches. I bought it initially because of the note of rice, and I will be honest with you, I really do not get rice in this perfume. It is a green tea. It's either a green or a white tea. It has some lovely light florals. It's got a little bit of bamboo. It definitely has a kick of pink pepper in the opening, but that does not last forever. That fades, and then you get into the fruity floral tea, as I like to describe it. I don't think there's any fruits in here per se, but it has an apricot-y peach kind of an overtone, and I think that's from the Champaca note, which to me, Champaca smells like a peach apricot tea with some cream. So a lovely tea, a lovely light floral tea with some fruity nuances. It wears lightly. This is perfect for work. I wear this to work. This would also be great as kind of a dressed up out and about or lunch or brunch fragrance. Elegant chic floral fragrance with some tea and lovely fruity sweetness that I adore. This next fragrance just gets better and better with time. I've had it since it came out. I didn't wear it a ton last summer because it just was a little too strong for the heat. And it is a year-round perfume, but I cannot put this fragrance down. It is Blanche Bete. I don't know if you can tell from the camera, this is basically a dark orange color. The vanillin has really come through. This was the perfume that made me think maybe tuberose is a note that I should revisit, because this perfume smells like you took tuberose petals, you dipped them in coconut oil, then you infused those petals that had that nice coconut oil, you infused that with a nice musk, and you dusted it with some very subtle cacao. It's got a little bit of mystical incense that gives it a little bit of depth and uniqueness. It's a very unique perfume. And take all that and cover it with milk or something really creamy. So it's very creamy. It's a creamy, coconutty, deep, sweet, white floral with some really interesting facets. This is very, very strong on me, so I have to go a little bit easy in the summer. I do wear this to work. I wear this on dates. I wear this out when I wear this kind of dressed up out and about. It is a lovely fragrance, and I just cannot get enough of Blanche Bete. One perfume that I have been loving is from the house of Sillage, and it is called Whispers of Time. I do love this bottle. I don't know if you can appreciate it. It's a beautiful color, and this to me smells a lot like Neroli Portofino, which I used to have, and I decluttered that because they smell very similar in the opening, but I really like the dry down of this so much better. So this has neroli, it has some really bright, those yellow citruses. I know bergamot, maybe lemon, but it also has a nice zinginess and a kick from ginger. So there's ginger, there's that neroli, you've got some tart citruses, but it's really the dry down that's my favorite part. This has cedar and vanilla, and it's something about the combination of notes that this dries down into something that smells very similar to Fruit Loops, and it's absolutely addictive. It is just so yummy, and Fruit Loops in a very fresh, grown-up way. I absolutely love it, and I have purchased a matching Fruit Loop body cream, and I pair them together, and I just smell so good. I wear this to work. People say, you smell so good. You smell really nice, light, and fresh and clean. Adore this perfume from the house of Sillage, and it is a great one for spring and summer, particularly for summer because it wears lightly, and it has a sweetness to it, but it's never suffocating. Okay, one that you have heard me talk about a ton. It is one of my favorite floral gourmands, and it is the beautiful Ylang In Gold by M. Micallef. Someone asked me if this one had gold, the gold sprinkles or the gold glitter, and it does. This to me is a beautiful tropical luxury getaway. You've got the ylang coconut and vanilla, and together they form what smells like banana pudding, and I absolutely love that. But it's not overtly gourmand because it's got some offsetting notes. There's lychee, there's pear, and there's oak moss, which kind of smooths it out and keeps it from being in that overly sweet zone, which I wouldn't mind if it was. But I think for people who don't like something overly sweet and gourmand, those notes are really important and critical to, I think, the overall success in this delicious smelling fragrance. And since I talk about it all the time, I'm only going to touch on it briefly, but I had to mention it because I have been wearing this a ton, and I actually took a decant of this on my recent Floridian vacation. Two more to go, and this is going to be a really short video. Two more to go. One is one I always talk about, and it is a perfume that I got in the wintertime because of the name, Guimauve de Noel, and that means Christmas marshmallow. I wore it in the summer, and then I realized, I think for me, I like this better in the summer because when it heats up on the skin, it smells like a creamsicle. My daughter says, Mom, you smell so delicious. You smell like a orange creamsicle. Everybody loves it when I wear it. It's got three notes, orange blossom, sugar, and vanilla. And it's very similar to Love Don't Be Shy. There are differences. Love Don't Be Shy, that's a little bit fruitier. I think the marshmallow is a little bit thicker. It's a little bit sweeter. This actually gets sweet. It's sweet in the summertime, and it wears a little bit more light and airy in the wintertime. I absolutely love this. I coat myself in this because it does wear lightly, but a perfume that I just can't stop reaching for. And the last one, I know you have never heard me talk about this. I will definitely put this in my video that I might film later on today if it doesn't rain on me. It is another one that my lovely friend Katrina sent me a sample of, and it took me forever to try it because the name is just Tuberose. And I thought, I'm not sure I'm ready for a fragrance that is really Tuberose prominent, maybe in the background. So I think I went through all my other decants and then I picked up this next one and fell in love. It was an immediate love. And another one that it doesn't look like, and this is by Galion, and it doesn't look like I've used it because my friend sent me this enormous decant that I used up and went ahead and bought the full bottle because this is a very special perfume. This is a fragrance that I kind of save for more special occasions. I had 2 ceremonies to go to over the summer, and one of the times I wore this as my special fragrance. It is beautiful. It is a tuberose prominent fragrance. It's very ethereal, it's light, it's airy, but it has some fruity sweetness. It doesn't have banana as a note, but I think it's the fruity sweetness or the fruits in here together with the tuberose that come together to form kind of like a nice green banana or a sweet green banana vibe. The fruits in here, there's pear and orange. I'm sure there's musk in here in addition to the tuberose, and it's not a heady tuberose. I think for tuberose haters, this might be a good gateway tuberose because like I said, it's very ethereal, light, airy, kind of gauzy, and it has a really nice fruity sweetness. This reminds me of if you took La Chasse aux Papillons by L'Artisan Fragrances and you combine it with the original Michael from Michael Kors and they had an offspring, it would be very, very similar to Tuberose by Le Galion, but this one is has a little bit more fruity sweetness, and it's a little bit more light and airy, gauzy. I just absolutely adore this. And I will list below where you can get samples of this so you do not have to blind buy, and you can test this for yourself. I just wanted to do a quick floral wrap up for all my floral lovers out there. I have been neglecting you over the summer. I'll probably do a separate video on floral gourmands, and then maybe I'll do a separate one from Orange Blossom since I have a ton of Orange Blossom fragrances and I don't get to talk about them a lot here on my channel, but that was it. Let me know what you think. Were there any surprises in here? Any fragrances that you know that I have that I didn't talk about today and you thought you would hear me discuss on the video today? I mean, I could have had 10 or 12 fragrances, but I thought I would keep it short and sweet and showcase the fragrances that I really, really wore time and time again since the spring. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for sticking around. I'd love to hear about your favorite summer florals in the comments below. I also didn't talk about the floral fragrances that are more casual, and I discussed in my white t-shirt perfumes, just so I could keep this nice and short. So thanks for watching, thanks for sticking around, and I will see you on the next one.